Hello. Okay, so I'm just going to make this video to show you and try and explain what happened, my experience with trying to get a new main board for my Fanatec, what are they? Club Sport version 2 pedals, those pedals. I bought the pedals second hand, used, and they were great for a while, but after a little while I started to have problems where the real problem was the gas pedal wouldn't, halfway through a race, it would stop reaching its maximum value. So I'm driving down the straight with that 80% gas and cars are just driving past me, so that race is gone, finished, nothing I can do. I did find a solution to it. If I took the pedals to bits and unplugged the gas pedal from the main board and cleaned the contacts in the plug with some contact cleaner, some Servasol contact cleaner, they would work for weeks at a time sometimes, but the problem would always come back. And the problem also was happening on the clutch pedal, sometimes at maximum value, sometimes at minimum value. No good. In the end I got fed up and I bought some other pedals. Decided to sell the Club Sport pedals, but I wanted to make sure that they were working correctly. So I sent Fanatec, I sent you guys a video in the end of my pedals not showing full values. Well, I've just plugged them in now and they won't do it. But you do have a video of them, of the pedals not working correctly, not running to full values. Then I saw an advert on Race Department, where I'm a member, somebody selling a brand new mainboard. So I bought it. The guy sent it, and it arrived. And I took one look at it, and I don't know if you see where the USBs plug in and stuff. I don't think there's enough light on that, it's difficult to see. But I took one look at it and thought, it looks like there's been sort of some kind of liquid which is dried on these chrome surfaces here. Doesn't look new to me. So I was very suspicious that it might not be the new one that he claimed it was. And then I plugged it in, put it on the, fitted it to my pedals and plugged it in. And there were two problems. One problem was that the bar on the properties software, was showing some signal on the brake, flickering, when I wasn't touching the brake. The second problem was that the vibration feature had ceased to work, wasn't working. So I put my old board back in and just checked, and I think you can see there that the vibration feature works. This is, by the way, my original main board. So I don't think there's any argument there, that works. So I was a bit miffed that this guy, I thought, had sold me a dodgy mainboard, that it wasn't new at all. So I emailed Fanatec, you guys, and you asked me to make a video, which I did, and showed you the bars not working on this, the mainboard that's in these pedals now, my original mainboard. I've numbered them 1 to 4, so that was the first one that came into my possession. So that's number 1, my original. but I was having problems, as I say, with the values on the clutch and the throttle. Okay, so I just fitted the number the board that I'm calling number 2. This one. This is the one I bought off the guy at Race Department. This is the second one that came into my possession. I've just fitted it to show you what the symptoms were, and I can't get the brake to flicker like it was when I first fitted it. Clearly this is something which is periodic, or I'm trying to think of the word, it'll come to me in a minute, but anyway, it doesn't happen all the time. So I fitted the number 3, which isn't there. The third one that came into my possession was the one I ordered from Fanatec. Now, I made a video for Fanatec for you guys, and to show you that my original board had problems. You agreed, so I ordered a new board, and I also, just in case, ordered a new sensor for the brake and a new sensor for the throttle for the gas pedal. And it arrived, and actually when I looked at it I thought, oh, looks like there's some liquid dried on the USB input on that one as well. So maybe the other one was new and it was just faulty. So I fitted it, and lo and behold, the brake flickers on it. There's the brake, press it, it's working, let the brake off, and it flickers. Only slightly, but I'm trying to sell these pedals, and if I put those on eBay and sell them to somebody, they're going to nag me and want to send them back and say they're faulty, that it's not perfect. The whole point of buying a brand new board, main board, PCB, was so that I could sell them with confidence that they'd go on for, you know, years to come. The guy was getting a decent set of pedals. Oh dear, the brake's flickering. Never mind. What else is wrong with them? Well, the second board I got, the one I bought off the guy at RD, had a second problem. That problem being that the vibration function didn't work. No good. I can't sell the pedals if the vibration function's not working. What about this one? Oh, the vibration function doesn't work. Precisely the same symptoms that I had with the one I bought off eBay, not eBay, never bought one off eBay, off Race Department. So let me just show you. The pedals, the vibration is not working. You can see that the spinner isn't moving. No response. But I'm not happy that the board is right. 2 faults with it. That's the one which I bought from Fanatec. Okay, back. So there's the first 3 boards that came into my possession. Number 4 is not there because it's in the pedals. I fitted it. Number 4. Okay, a bit of backstory. So, number 1, my original that I bought with the pedals used, developed fault, intermittent fault, sometimes with the accelerator or gas pedal and sometimes with the clutch, sometimes not full value, sometimes wouldn't go down to minimum value, so there was always some signal. No good. So I bought this one on Race Department. Problem with that being that the brake pedal was showing some signal even when my foot was nowhere near the brake. flickering, and the vibration device on the brake didn't work at all. Not intermittent, doesn't work. So I ordered this one from Fanatec and also 2 sensors, one each for the gas pedal and the brake. That was number 3. Strangely, number 3 exhibits exactly the same faults as number 2, i.e. the brake shows a little bit of signal and flickers all the time when there's no pressure applied to the brake pedal, and the vibration device doesn't work at all, ever. It seems like the problem with the brake is a little bit intermittent. When you unplug it and plug it back in, sometimes it doesn't show for a little while. So, backstory was, when number 2 turned up, I ordered the parts from Fanatec because this clearly wasn't right. I then contacted the guy I got it off, told him that I thought he was pulling a fast one, that, you know, playing a trick to get my money. Thought it was horrendous that he should do such a thing. Didn't believe that it was new. This one came. It was a busy period, and before I'd even fitted this one, I sent what I thought was number 2 back. Stupidly, I did it in a rush, and number 2 was actually sat in my pedals, and the one that I'd sent back was number 1. My mistake, totally, but it's caused a right nightmare. So I ended up with 2 that weren't working at all. The 2 boards, neither of which had the vibration function working, and both of them had an intermittent fault on the brake pedal. Meanwhile, I'd sent this one to the guy on RD. So I mailed him, told him that I was really sorry. Clearly it was a new board that he'd sent me, and I'm an absolute idiot for calling him names and not believing him and what have you. So I made a fool of myself. Asked him if he'd send it back, which unbelievably and very, very kindly he has done. In the meantime, I get an email from Fanatec, which is a reply to an email from somebody else who I've never met. Totally has no relevance to this story at all. Another customer of Fanatec support saying, oh, we sent you the wrong board, we're going to send you another one. And that's when number 4 turned up. I can copy you in on the email. So number 4 turns up, and that's the one that's in these pedals now. And guess what? There's an intermittent fault, or there's a fault on the brake pedal. And guess what happens with the vibration function? I'm sure you know what's going to happen here. You need to be able to see the spinner. So, I'm sorry I'm not explaining this very clearly, and it's very complicated, but you can see what's going on here. So I press the vibration button, nothing. Press it again, show you the spinner, nothing. Okay, so I've got 3 brand new boards. Spinner doesn't work on any of them, and there's a problem with the brake. Okay, so I've fitted number 2 now, the second one to come into my possession. This is the one I bought off a guy on the race department. Like I say, when it showed up, it had the watermarking on it, or the marking on these bosses, input modules, which looked like it had liquid dried on it. So I was immediately suspicious. So I fitted it to these pedals, and first thing I noticed was the brake bar was showing signal. Now, Seems to be an intermittent problem because I can't replicate it now. But what I can replicate is if I put my foot on the clutch pedal, it shows signal. So it's a fault whichever way you look at it, in my opinion. Okay. And under further investigation, just show you the spinner. Okay, there's the spinner for the vibration function. Vibration test, click that, nothing, it's not working. Show you the spinner and click. Focus. There's nothing anyway, doesn't work. I've showed you with the original that my original works. So I ordered a replacement. While I was there, I ordered replacements for the sensors for the gas pedal and the clutch pedal. And I contacted the guy who I bought it off, number 2 off, and said that I didn't believe him that it was new. Said that I thought he was robbing me and pulling a trick, a con, for a few quid, and it was cheap, and basically made a fool of myself because number 3 arrived. I thought, that's new, that's going to work, that's from Fanatec, that is a new one. So I sent him back the one I thought I sent him back the one he sent me. Did it in a bit of a rush one morning, and when he got it, he said, "You sent me the wrong one back. You've sent me the one I sent you had markings on it." What I'd done was I'd sent him my original one. So my thinking at the time was, well, if I contact Fanatec now, they're just going to tell me that my spinner's broken. It's my fault, I pulled a cable or something. So I had to then go back, cap in hand, to the guy I bought it off, tell him that I have been an idiot because I didn't believe you. Like, I felt a complete fool over this. Could you please send it back to me? Which I had to pay for. So I had to pay postage 2 ways on that one. Came back, lo and behold, the spinner works on that one. So now I can contact you. But in the meantime, you sent me in error, erroneously, a 4th one. Oh, that might work. No, same faults. So I would just like please from you. I would like a board that's been tested that the spinner's going to work on, and if at all possible, that doesn't show signal on the brake when I'm not touching the brake. Okay, thanks. Yeah, forgot to say, I did dig out the new sensors. There's the box. So they came. I thought I might as well buy sensors as well, just in case, because it's 15 quid postage to get any item sent, but it's still 15 quid to get all 3. So I thought I could perhaps sell the sensors or let the person who buys the pedals have the spare sensors. I don't know. I thought rather than pay the 15 quid again, it was only 20 quid for the sensors. So for an extra £5, really, in a way. Anyway, cheers.